there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So today we're talking love and marriage, Huntsville. You guys know why you are here. Today we are talking about Dr. Heavenly's 180 on Destiny, you guys, and even to an extent on Sunny as well, courtesy of Carlos King. Allegedly. As you guys know, what am I talking about? They have their weekly Messy Monday recap of Love and Marriage Huntsville. Well, really, it's a partial recap because it goes off the rails and they want to hone in on specific topics that Carlos King wants out there as the official narrative, right? Which is really his thoughts, but he's not going to say it because he's quote-unquote the producer. But it's clear as day that Dr. Heavenly and him had some type of powwow because Dr. Heavenly had been going in on Destiny for weeks, you guys. Going in on her for, the situation with Sunny and Moses, going in that basically saying at that point in time that maybe, she was saying because of her experience with producers that maybe Destiny was exaggerating or misconstrued whether or not her and Sunny were friends, right? And then said, went in on her for basically going on this show to confront Moses, who's now married, right? Because, Dr. Heavenly is all about the team spouse in the situation, right? And then also went in on Destiny because it was exposed, once again, by Moses and others, all these people that have paid money towards Destiny to fund whatever lifestyle, help pay whatever bills, help her get flued out, whatever the case may be. All these people keep loaning her money. Well, I call it a loan because that's what it technically is to me. That's how I was brought up. But I also know that it's not coming back, right? I also know that all these people that gave Destiny thousands of dollars in her time of need, that she has not paid back 1 dime, 1 cent, 1 penny, $1, or any of the things, right? But nonetheless, that's how, I interpret it. Like, I always was brought up, like, hey, if you needed to loan somebody, if you were, stuck in a bind or whatever, and you needed some help from, like, a family member or a friend, it's like, hey, I, need X amount of dollars, I'll pay you back when I get paid, next week or whatever the case may be. However, we know 9 times out of 10, it's 50-50 on whether or not you're going to see that money back. But nonetheless, now all of a sudden, Dr. Heavenly wants to big up the fact that Destiny has a college education, you guys. And is it the same college education that Letitia Scott has? Like, book smart doesn't mean street smarts, you guys. Book smarts doesn't mean that you have good intellect, you have good decision-making skills, you have a good personality. It just means that you meet the requirements for whatever degree program you were in, and you were able to excel enough in those fields with the minimum GPA to graduate, you guys. That's all it means. Is Destiny using her degree at all? Is Destiny using her real estate broker's license at all? Or whatever license she has? I mean, because it seems as though none of the education matters, just like none of Letitia's 4 degrees matter, right? What does it have to do with anything? Because you're not utilizing it for, specific career paths, so why bring it up, right? It's not a flex if your behavior and your career choices are not even on the same stratosphere, right? Why should I care that Destiny has a college education but is not working and is relying on a reality TV show to be her full-time source of income, and meanwhile still cannot afford to live a certain lifestyle, can't afford to provide for her son, that she has practically the entire cast loaning her money or giving her money, right? And we know, Martella has no money, or she would have been hit him up as well, right?
But nonetheless, I think it's hilarious because it's like there are successful people who did not have to get a college education, who are successful entrepreneurs that didn't have to, have a bachelor's degree or an associate's degree or whatever, and may have went to a trade program or all of these things. So it's not this flex that you think it is, just saying, oh, Destiny has a degree. So now all of a sudden we need to pull back, right? But you're a dentist, Dr. Heavenly, and some people have an issue with how you conduct yourself on Married to Medicine, right? So what does that matter, right? What does that matter? Your background as a medical professional and the schooling that you went through, if you still go on Married to Medicine to turn up, right? And say some things that are below the belt to some of your fellow cast members, right? And then when the block is hot, then you want to backtrack and be like, oh, I didn't really mean that or whatever. No, right? And so this is my issue, right? Because this was the same thing that happened with Candy Bears and a few other people who decide to have podcasts while their shows are airing, right? Is the issue at hand, I don't mind it in the sense like, hey, if you're truly recapping the show and you're truly wanting to say, hey, X, Y, and Z was cut from this episode, right? Or this was a longer conversation me and so had on the show. But what happens is the popularity of these podcasts that are ran either by the reality star of the show or one of the producers or somebody affiliated with the show is either at some point the bias comes in, right? At some point the narrative flips to where you are strictly doing the show to push whatever agenda you want, right? So say you're getting dragged by the blogs for your behavior in a previous episode, you're going to go on your podcast and play victim and be like, well, you guys didn't see everything, right? And try to make it seem like it was production's fault, that they cut a conversation or they cut an incident so it made you look bad, or it was all editing, right? And then this case of Destiny, this 180 Dr. Heavenly is doing, you were dragging her, basically saying that she is doing the most and she needs to pipe down and she's embarrassing herself, and she misconstrued whether or not her and Sunny were really friends because you spilled that producers, their job is to get to know as much information about you as possible to facilitate a storyline. You literally said that the previous week. So now all of a sudden you're Team Destiny and saying Sunny knew what she was doing and all these things and knew that your history with Moses. That wasn't the same energy you were giving the previous week. And this is what I mean, you guys. People have to be accountable, right? Why can't you give your opinion and stand on it, right? Why do we have to flip the script depending on who the cast member is? And that's why, allegedly, I believe Carlos King intervened, right? Because, again, the narrative is out there that he doesn't like Destiny because she's out here embarrassing herself, right? But that has nothing to do with us. But to try to get, Dr. Heavenly involved and now do a 180 on Destiny, and then now Dustin, stopping in the middle of the interview for Moses saying, oh, we aren't going to bash Destiny. No. Oh, but it was okay from our show to bash Millimeters and Mel supporters and throw digs at Melody Cherie Rogers. All of that was fine. Millimeter or not, Mel supporter or not, all of that was okay. But you draw the line at Destiny. No. We have to be transparent, you guys, and this is my issue. Here's the thing. If you want to be a blogger, if you want to talk about the show, stand on your opinions, but don't flip it based off of a reaction of somebody, or don't flip it because the producer of the show wants certain people like Destiny and like Martell to look good in the grand scheme of it all. No. That's not how this is going to work. And then finally, Dr. Heavenly has the audacity to go in on Sunny's looks and talking about her forehead. Why? Rihanna is a billionaire and has a big forehead. That hasn't stopped her from being successful, hasn't stopped her from starting a family, hasn't stopped her from, having still many admirers both in and outside of the industry that she is in. So this people think that, attacking people's looks is some type of dig. I personally don't get it at all, right? And I don't get Dr. Heavenly at all coming for anybody's looks, right? You remember how hard it was for you to even get on reality TV because of quote unquote your looks. Remember, Mariah spilled that Dr. Heavenly was supposed to be on season 1 and casting did not want her on the show. Production didn't want her on the show because they said that she was too heavy, that she had, that her weight was too much for the show and for the cameras, and that she needed to lose weight in order to make the show. That's what Mariah Carey said allegedly on her original podcast / YouTube / Facebook lives that she was doing originally before the cast got in their feelings, right? And said she was going too far, in particular Dr. Heavenly, only for Dr. Heavenly to turn around herself and now have a podcast, right? And now have a blogger platform, right? Where she's going in and dragging her cast members, right? But nonetheless, how can you come for Sunni'S looks when your looks was a reason of deterring you from, officially being on every single season of Married to Medicine, and then you had to audition again once you did, follow their instructions and lose some weight, and then you were able to be on the show full time. So how dare you try to attack Sunni'S looks, and you know what you've been through, right? And you know that your looks as well, like you've gone through your own ups and downs, right? Nobody is perfect. Nobody looks perfect, right? But I just don't get the digs about Sunni'S forehead. Now, do I think Sunny may need like different hairstyles to accentuate, her best features? Absolutely, right? Not everybody, is meant to have certain hairstyles or have their hair parted a certain way, because then it's going to even bring more of a notice if you have, a larger forehead or whatever, right? But that has nothing to do with what my opinion is on the Sunny, Destiny, and Moses situation, right? And clearly Moses doesn't care about, what Sunny looks like because he's married her, just like Dr. Damon. Dr. Heavenly didn't care what you looked like and still married you, right? So again, why are we doing things like this? Why are we just coming out of nowhere? And the other piece of this is Sunny, I think, made some comments as well in her stories about Dr. Heavenly because she didn't like a comment that Dr. Heavenly said on a previous Messy Monday about her. But even with all of that being said, you don't have to get back on the defensive and go gutter and go low, right? Like I said, you can always give a sound opinion on somebody if it's truly about their actions or behavior, but don't be a hypocrite. Don't contradict yourself literally 7 days later from the energy you were giving from the previous week. How am I supposed to take you seriously as a blogger if you're not going to stand on business? If you're not going to stand on your opinions, right? And you're going to flip it if Carlos King doesn't like the narrative that's out there about Destiny, right? If he doesn't like the narrative that Moses exposed about her in his interview with Dustin, right? Now all of a sudden everybody's team Destiny, right? No. Destiny does not have a storyline, you guys. How long is this Sunny and Moses thing going to drag out with Destiny, right? Because literally the first episode, she was already, back to dragging Melody and Mel supporters and Mel meters, right? And eventually we are going to see, per the trailer, her interacting with Martell, and Martell making jokes that her son looks like Uncle Marty Marr, right? And I guess that's okay, right? And that's okay to come in and basically embarrass yourself to a sneaky link to an entanglement that's now married to somebody else. I guess all of that is fine, right? But you draw the line at LeBaric, right? Well, I guess you draw the line at LeBaric on camera, right? But off camera on a podcast, it seems that there is no holds barred on now dragging LeBaric and making false accusations and false insinuations. Now all of a sudden trying to, push that narrative, a false narrative that LeBaric and Melody Sheree Rogers had or have something going on, right? With zero receipts, right? Because we've said time and time again, when she was asked about it, she basically said, oh, well, when I was FaceTiming my son, Mel and the kids were in the background at LeBaric's restaurant. Well, that really doesn't mean that that's a relationship, right? And if they were at a kid's birthday party, celebrating one of the kids' birthday, right? That doesn't mean that it's a relationship. It means, obviously, their kids get along, their kids, like each other, so why not have play dates? Why not be around each other on certain occasion and all the things? And you know this, Destiny. But again, you were so caught up in your hatred for Mel and your jealousy of Mel because she paid you dust once you realized that you were being two-faced. You were talking about her behind her back, literally next door, and she heard you outside of the hotel room to Letitia, and you still try to play in her face, and then you try to get on camera and say that Mel was ignoring you and wasn't a good friend, and then Mel posted the receipt. She showed the screenshots of her text messages to show she did reach out to you, right? And how good a friend is Melody to you if Melody had to find out, like the rest of us, that you were even getting a divorce from LeBaric? Wouldn't you tell your quote-unquote good friend that? Your good friend that you're so concerned that you're not hearing from, right? But is reaching out to you and you're paying her dust, right? So I just need Destiny to keep it a buck. I need you to keep it all the way real and keep the same energy that you're not as innocent as you want the people to think, right? That there is wrong across the board with everybody, and everybody needs to be held accountable. Everybody needs to own their own mishaps, and that is the issue with this show. And now with these Messy Mondays episodes, because now people want to pick and choose who and what they want to go in on, and now you can do a 180 apparently on your previous opinion of somebody if Carlos King allegedly is not here for what the consensus is out there, right? But ultimately, when it's all said and done, it's not right to come for somebody's looks. And Dr. Heavenly, you should know better. You are in this reality TV space, and you get offended if anybody comes for your looks or anybody attacks your looks. So why is it okay for you to do it to somebody else? What does that have to do with the issue at hand? That's what I mean with these reality shows and these commentaries. It's like, why can't you just talk about whether you like or dislike somebody's actions on the show? Why do we have to take it to another level of what they look like or how educated they are? That has nothing to do with the show. Everybody is on the same playing field as far as I'm concerned, whether you're educated or not, when you make the decision to decide to do reality TV, right? Because literally you're signing a contract to say, hey, I don't care how you portray me on the show. And education has nothing to do with that. Education is not a requirement for you to be on reality TV, you guys. So to me, none of that matters, right? And ultimately, at the end of the day, like I said, Moses doesn't care, about Sunny's education or whatever, or what Sunny looks like. Ultimately, he married her and he didn't marry Destiny. And that's the bottom line, right? Whether it's for, real reasons or for his own agenda. Ultimately, as of now, him and Sunny are legally married, right? So again, what are these attacks on her looks exactly going to accomplish, right? And how would you feel if somebody came for your looks, right? You're going to go in on the attack on them, right? Because that has nothing to do with anything. So there's that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.